Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Coach Renz. First, I want to thank everybody who's joining me. We're at the top of Stone Mountain here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. So thank everybody who subscribes to the channel, as well as those who follow me on Facebook, and those mainly who give on Patreon, shop at Uncle Renz Popcorn, and supports in many other ways. Become a member of my YouTube. That'd be awesome, just starting that. So, been thinking about change. Change. We know that change is a constant of the universe, and no matter what happens in life, things will constantly be changing. Nothing stands still, nothing is stagnant. All things vibrate. All things are moving from one end of the pole to the other end of the pole. It's a law of rhythm. But as beings that have the ability to dictate our environment, have the ability to reason things, have the ability to decide how we're going to emotionalize things, we have the ability to change. But change doesn't always come easy. Change takes hard work. Climbing up this mountain, it takes hard work. And even when it becomes easy, you have a tendency to speed up to make it more difficult. But when we're talking about change, you always want to look at it from a point of view of who are you making the change for? You know, are you making this change because you were inspired by somebody to make a change in your life that's going to make your life better? Or are you making a change because somebody is dictating it for you? Somebody's forcing you. You are not the causal factor of your change. And here's the thing about that. When you're not the causal factor of your change, you will slip into a point of resentment. You will go to an area where you don't think you should have made that change. And every time you have to do something concerning that change, you're not going to feel good about it. You're not going to feel like, oh, I'm bettering myself. I'm bettering my finances. I'm bettering my relationship. I'm bettering my spirituality. No, you're making that change because somebody has forced you. Somebody has convinced you that this is something that you need to do. And really, it's not for you. It's for them. And anytime the change is for someone else, then it's not going to be to your benefit. You're going to lose in the end. And this is so apparent in relationships. And this is where I'm going to stick. We can talk about it in finances, we can talk about it in spirituality, we can talk about it in your health. It just so happened I'm climbing this mountain, so I'm working on my health. Now granted, I sent my wife this picture, this graph, and I said, hey, what would you like to have for the holidays? The holiday gift, me getting into shape, what shape would you like? And she picked one, right? I'll post up here the number that she picked. I believe it was 6 or 7. It was one of those numbers. I think it was 6 or maybe even 5. I don't know. It's one of those. One of the ones in really great shape. But, by the way, Uncle Renz Popcorn is like right over there somewhere. Actually, no, it's over there somewhere. But, fact of the matter is, I didn't pick that. I didn't ask her that for her approval. I didn't ask her that for her to be my accountability partner. Sure, when you tell somebody something like that, they're going to be watching. They're going to see what you do. Are you really making that change? But the reason why I told her that was for me to be my own accountability. You see, when I sent her that because I wanted to make a change for my health. You know, my knees were hurting. The arthritis is kicking my butt. The extra weight that I've gained over the last couple of years has not been beneficial to me. And I don't want to, nor do I believe in allowing something to get to a point where now is incredibly detrimental to your health. So I decided to make this change for me. Now, when you're in a relationship, oftentimes you find yourself changing who you are for your mate. Your mate doesn't like a certain aspect of you once you get into the relationship. And so you change it. And then here's another change. And then here's another change. And another one, and another. Before long, you don't even recognize yourself. You've made so many changes. Now, when you've made those changes for them, you start to develop certain resentment, because when you're not upholding to those changes, and you won't, you will not. here's the thing, you will not uphold those changes. We'll get into that a little bit later, but you will not uphold those changes. And the main reason you won't uphold those changes is because you did it for someone else. And every time you slip, they're gonna make sure that you know you slipped, that you said you would make this change, but you didn't. But all the while, the change was for them and not you. So, what do? No one comes into a relationship perfect. No one comes into a relationship, ready. We all come into a relationship with another person, another being, and we realize we have to change for them. There are certain changes you have to make. And when you make those changes, you need to recognize that, is this a good change for me? And this is where we segue. All changes you make should be for you. They should be for your benefit. They should be because you decided to make this change, not because someone else decided it for you. Now, my wife has inspired me to make many changes in my life. And most of these changes push me back to the person that I used to be, the person that I like, the person that I envision me being, the person that I see as a winner, a successful person. So some of those changes that she inspired, yes, I want to make those. And even though I will make mistakes in them, it doesn't bother me as much because these are changes I'm deciding to make for myself that happen to be a benefit to my wife. And those are the best changes because those are the ones that will last. Those are the ones that will continue. The ones that you make for someone else won't. So if your spouse, your friends, your coworkers, they inspire you to make a change, that's different. Make that change, because sometimes other people can see what you can't see. Other people can see how you could be better. Other people can see how life can be better for you. They can see things you may not be able to. But when you allow yourself to change for yourself, then it becomes something that you don't resent. You become proud of it. It becomes something you hold on to, something that you say that this is what I want. This is what I want for me. And then that makes you a greater person. That makes you a better person. So when you decide when somebody tells you you need to change something, ask yourself first, do I want this change? Is this change going to make me better? Is this a change that I want for myself? Or is this simply a change that someone wants for me? If it's one that you want for yourself and it benefits them, great, make the change. But if you look at it and you see that it's not going to be to your benefit, then it's not a change you should make. And if that doesn't make the other person happy, you can't emotionalize it to go ahead and make that change just to make them happy. You have to have accurate thinking on whether or not this is going to be to your benefit, because in the long run, if it's not for you, it's not going to work. So make the changes for yourself first, and if it benefits everybody else, then great, because you can't allow your environmental experiences, your environmental surroundings to decide who you're going to be. That is a choice just for you. So remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Oh yeah, good journey, good vibration.